September 26th.
It's one of the many days Jennifer Penny cannot forget.
And this is as high as the water level got to this point.
That's not the Missouri River to her left. It's water from the March floods of 2019.
What you're looking at right here that's underwater is 1/4 of our farmland.
Farmland that should be housing fields of corn is now a place where amphibians call home.
Disheartening, to say the least.
Penny is a fourth-generation farmer near Decatur who took over the family business once her father, Joe, passed away in 2017. He often shared stories with his kids about a flood that took place in the 50s.
And he always said, you girls and you boys will never see this. You will never see this again. And he would show us pictures of canoeing in to take care of the livestock, to go get groceries. And well, Dad, you aren't here to see it, but I saw it 3 times last year.
Her farmland flooded in 3 different seasons last year. And while she knows Mother Nature is partly to blame, she's also upset with those managing the waterways.
I would just really like someone from the Corps of Engineers who's making these decisions to put themselves in the place of farmers and ranchers and people who are making their living off of the land.
We shared her concerns with John Remus, who's in charge of water management of the Missouri River for the Corps.
With the wettest 12 months in 125 years, a record for the entire basin. So it's going to take a while for this water to get off the land.
Penny also says the water levels on the Missouri were low before the flood, and the Corps could have released more water from their dams upstream, like Gavins Point.
There's always been a difficulty, I guess, with people understanding that we are ice affected in our winter releases. We do have lower winter releases, and that's because we have ice in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana.
Ice can restrict those releases, according to Remus. Unforeseen weather late in the winter, like the bomb cyclone, brought lots of rain with it. Remus also says while Gavins Point does release lots of water, unregulated areas to the east where there are no dams added tons of water to the Missouri. He says while the flooding was unfortunate, it could have been worse.
We cut the peak flow out of Gavins Point by half in the March event, or nearly half. So it would have been worse without the dams.
Many along the river remain concerned about this March, including Penny. So we traveled to Gavins Point to get an idea for the spring outlook of those water releases and the runoff.
Last year it was just under 60 million acre feet of runoff in the system. This year we're forecasting 36 million acre feet, so quite a bit less than what we actually saw last year.
Tom Curran is the project manager at Gavins Point. He's more optimistic for this spring due to the average snowpack up north. The dam is now releasing 35,000 cubic feet of water per second, which is above average. But the peak of last season was 100,000 CFS. They plan to keep it at 35 for now, which makes them ready for the incoming snowmelt.
All the storage has been evacuated and we're ready to capture this year's runoff in the system up above here.
While the Corps doesn't anticipate historic flooding this year, that doesn't mean there still isn't flooding concerns, which may impact those like Penny.
There's only one way that water flows, and it's down through the rivers and the lakes and tributaries, and so we will eventually see that water.
That water is impacting lots of livelihoods along the river, including Penny's, who isn't sure if her farmland will ever be the same.
A lot of people can't make it with 100% of their farm acres nowadays, and to have that cut to 3/4, very devastating.
In Omaha, John Madden, 3 News Now.
Penny was also critical of what she says is a lack of communication between the Corps and residents along the Missouri River. The Corps says they are hosting several meetings to talk about those water releases. We have a list of those dates and times on our website, 3newsnow.com, if you are interested in attending.